What is up, gamers and hobbyists out there? Welcome, welcome to On the Bench with Pete, and this is take two because I messed up take one. I left my dehumidifier running in the background, and how I didn't know that is anybody's guess. I have no idea. Anyway, suffice to say, I've done a little bit of work on a carrion crawler. I've done a couple of steps before I realised my error, schoolboy error, but all I can say, sorry, sorry for that, and perhaps we can move on. Anyway, if you're new to this series, this is the paint-along series that you put on in the background whilst you hobby or paint along with me. I talk about life, the universe, everything in between, bit of hobby, bit of work life, bit of personal life, bit of what's going on around where I live, stuff I'm doing, stuff I'm watching, stuff I'm into. Anyway, so get yourselves ready. This is our chance to get through some miniatures, some painting, and tasks that might seem a bit daunting or boring without something to put on in the background. So, if you fancy that, then let's do it. Let's get to the bench. Here we are, folks. This is the carrion crawler I was working on just now. So, yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. And I'm wondering if I unplug something. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm unplugging something. I'm plugging something else in. Extra light. Just bear with me. 2 ticks. 2 ticks of a lion's mane, or whatever they say. I don't know. Here we go. There it is. Ugh. Right. Now all I've got to do is find the on switch. There it is. There. Hopefully that's going to be better. Right. So, here we are. I think that's alright. Gave it a little bit more chance to dry off a little. So I'm going to carry on working on this guy. He's got like an open mouth thing here. So I'm going to start off by painting with some burnt red. I mean, if you was doing a tutorial and wanted to follow along, corn red would be more than acceptable here. So I'm doing burnt red. A little bit in my palette, and I am going to water it down. Water it down, water it down. Right. So, I'll have to repeat myself now with what I was talking about, which is a major downer. Just a little more water, a little thinner. Right, so, what I was saying is I was starting off with my work life, because that's probably the most boring part of my life, is my work. They're talking about moving me to another department. Well, I was keen about a year ago. It's taken so long. I don't know if I am anymore, but I mean, maybe. We'll see. They have to fulfill a couple of conditions. One is it's got to be remote working. Actually, I think that's his teeth. So I'll put that in the background here. Yeah, it has to be. No, actually, I'll do it around his lips. There you go. Yeah, it has to be remote working. Otherwise, it's just. No, it's not. It's just not going to work for me, you know. And if they say, well, it's not, I'll say thanks, but no thanks. See, the meeting, this is Saturday night, and this will all be over by the time you see this. So, things will have either moved on, happened or not happened, I expect, by the next time we talk, I guess. May do an update. I don't know. Some people are interested, believe it or not. Why, I don't know. But yeah, point is, so maybe moving to another department. Maybe. It's got to be remote work though, because, you know, my condition. Yeah, if I can't remote work, well, I can't do it really. I'll have to look for someone else. Yeah, that's good, that's good. That ain't bad at all. That is not bad. Oh, I like that. No eyes on this thing that I can see. But it's a carrion crawler, so lives under the underground, so it isn't really going to have eyes, is it? I wonder if I can paint its claws burnt red. Not bad. Might need a small, bigger brush. Some of these claws are small, some of them are bigger, so a little tricky to gauge. That's alright. Run out of paint, I can put some more in. It's not like I mixed the paint, so it's not too bad. This is burnt red, and that means I can highlight it then, because it's a dark red. So I've been watching the Alien movies lately, because my enthusiasm for anything aliens or alien, the alien universe, even Predator, although I prefer aliens. That's another story, but it's reinvigorated my enthusiasm for the Alien RPG game, which has got the Evolved edition now, and I'm quite excited for it because got the box set, I've got the main core rulebook, I've also got a scenario for it, which is cool. And now that I've watched all the Alien movies again, it's given me a renewed, like I say, a renewed enthusiasm to want to play the game. And so, of course, I'll be playing solo. Although I have been asked to GM a game, but that's not going to happen because I don't know the people involved, see. Well, I know one of them, but I mean, I not well enough to GM a game. You really got to know your audience when you're GMing, I think, these days. Otherwise, it all gets a bit out of hand. Everybody gets so offended, and Alien or Aliens really isn't the game to play in that instance. So, I mean, it's a horror game, right? It's a sci-fi horror game. And the chances are you won't survive it. And the chances are to make the game good, really, as a storyteller, you have to be quite graphic and go into a lot of graphic detail in order to create the right atmosphere. And you risk people getting upset by that. But that's something you've got to do, really, if you want to succeed. But that's just, the way it is. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright. Let's paint tips of these bad boys. This is a Carrion crawl. This is obviously going to be used in a fantasy role-playing game, such as Dungeons and Dragons, or Tunnels and Trolls, or Castles and Crusades. I've been looking at Castles and Crusades, just briefly. Wow, it looks like a cracking game. It looks like D&D as it used to be when it was really good. That's just my perspective of it. So yeah, so think of like basic fantasy with more hardware. Yeah, more backup, more support, more game support, game master support, and player support. You know, just think of that. Because that's how I view it. Yeah. So what I'm doing now is I'm painting the ends of these tentacle things with claws. It doesn't have that, but I'm just putting them in. I won't do it for the top two antennae. I will, however, do it for these pincer type things here, either side of what looks to be its mouth for all intents and purposes. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so they're on about moving me to a different department. And if I like the sound of it, and it's, you know, everything I want from it, yeah, I'll jump at it. I will do it. A change is as good as a rest, they say. And yeah, why not? Right, that's the red. I haven't filmed and on the bench in a long time, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty at the things. Oh dear. Yeah, a cup of green tea. Right. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a touch of Mephiston Red. Do I have one open? Yes, I do. A touch of Mephiston Red to that burnt red. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some flow improver into this. Just a drop. Some water. Yeah, okay, so we're lightening the red a little bit now, just a little bit. Okay, that's good. I've been using an Artist Opus brush for my tutorials, which I'm really super impressed with. And yeah, what can I say? It's been great. I think it's been great. Good experience all around. Okay, so Alright, so I'm just putting a little bit of this new red mix into the mix, as it were. This is quite fun, you know. Just a little bit here. So I'm not totally... Oh, I will there. You won't notice it. There we go. Cover up my mistakes as I go. Little areas. I have to be careful when I do the base. Okay. So I'm just going to do it double-sided for this for the moment. Yeah. So I've been using a new video editor lately. iMovie. I've used a program called VideoPad for well, all the years I've been doing YouTube, so I know what it is, about 13 years, I think, something like that. And yeah, I just figured it was time for something different, because it bugs and glitches quite a bit, even, you know, especially when you have an update or an upgrade. Upgrade is more like a downgrade in my opinion, but yeah, I always dread it, and this last time has proved no exception. Right, so that's what I've done there. Right, now, what am I going to use for his teeth? Ivory, I think. I say it's a he, could be a she. I don't know. Ivory, because it's an off-white, folks. Oh, just wash that brush out. Yeah, so watching the Alien movies give me so many ideas for campaigns I could create within the Alien universe, and I had none of that creativity regarding it before. So I'm quite pleased about that. Right, so I'm just putting the ivory on the teeth. Now what I'm going to call the teeth. Before I had loads of ideas for what is known as cinematic games, which is where it just lasts more like one shots really, but it lasts like 2 or 3 sessions or whatever. Everybody dies, blah blah blah. I'm also going to do these little nobule things. I never really had any ideas for campaign mode because, right, people don't last long enough. It's not the game, right? It's not designed for your characters to last. So, like in the movie, everyone dies. It's that's the way it happens. Yes, the game is designed for player characters to die. It's not designed to promote them and whatever else like you do in conventional role-playing games, level up and all that. Doesn't really happen in the Alien world. But watching those movies has given me some cool ideas. I think the campaign stuff would revolve more around colonization than like military missions for the Space Corps and all that. I think that would be best for them. That's looking pretty good. I'm pretty okay with that so far. I bought myself a new Artificer airbrush the other day just because I wanted to buy something in my local gaming store. I feel robbed lately. I don't know. Alright. Put him to... Well, actually, we can keep working on this dude. I mean, Carrion crawler, right? So... Yeah, why not? Right, let's go for some arcane blue from P3 then, shall we? I'm just going to shake this up a bit more. So I've really been enjoying watching the Alien movies. So I say I got the first one, Alien, in 4K. I've been starting to collect my movie collection in 4K if possible. In some cases it's not possible, and I have to make do with Blu-ray, which is okay. That's quite good, Blu-ray, but obviously 4K is best. I mean, seeing the Alien movie in 4K was phenomenal. It really was. I'll put a little bit of flow enhancer in this arcane blue. Just a drop. Okay. A bit of water. And there we go. Yes, I mean, I reckon I've done enough work on this model so far to call this episode the Carrion Crawler. Yeah, we're 23 minutes into it, and yeah, why not? Switching to a layer brush. That is GW brushes I'm using, by the way, surprisingly enough. I know, right? So let's do the bits on his chest first. Okay. It's looking alright, not too bad, not too shabby. Yeah, that looks alright. This is reminding me of the tutorial I'm currently working on which is Captain America from Marvel Crisis Protocol. And the reason it's reminding me of that is because of the blues. There's a lot of blues to work with on him, so it's this isn't a tutorial, so I'm not I'm painting this in a better, easier, more comfortable position for me. Yeah, that's the only trouble with the tutorials. Even so far I have not found a position that's 100% comfortable for me to paint in and conduct the tutorial. I think I find the voice-over way of doing it better, if I'm honest. It gives me a chance to reflect. If I make a mistake, I can talk about it. You can see me correct it in real time, which is good, I think, right? Yeah. I've been super enjoying having my driving license back again. I've been able to do a couple of short trips just locally, like to the shop, and drop my wife off at an event at the village hall and things like that she went to with her friend, and I've been enjoying that. Put Bung Dylan in the back and off we go. It's like, yeah, let's go on our adventure. It didn't last long, no more than like half an hour, but it's good. I'm never intending to do long haul journeys, like long trips again, like I have done in the past. I won't ever do that again, I don't think. I don't think it would be wise. That's just my own feeling on it. I'm enjoying this. This is therapeutic. This is therapy, folks. Doing this is therapy. It really is for me. I mean, I would call it therapeutic anyway for anybody. But if you've got like a condition or an illness or something, you need to take your mind off things. You need to refocus your brain. And miniature painting is definitely the way to go. And it's harmless, good harmless fun. It's wonderful. There we go. Oh, this is great. This is just great. Carrion crawler. I think I've said it in other videos, but it was my very first ever creature that I faced in Dungeons and Dragons. And funnily enough, it was also the very first time. Here's trivia for you: the very first time I played D&D was solo. because there was a solo teaching mode in the red basic box set of basic D&D, and it had you facing off to learn the combat against a Carrion crawler. At least that's how I remember it. Right, so there. I'm quite liking that. Quite liking that. Right. Yeah, who'd have thought? Started solo, ended solo. Half an hour in. And, you know, he's looking alright, I think. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Carrion crawler, there you go. He's a little bit flamboyant, really, doesn't he? But, yeah. That'll do the job of scaring the pants off of me if I'm on the table. Right, I am going to see. Do I go up to just my fist on red? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Gonna do it. Just water it down a bit more. There. Okay. Quite exciting stuff. This will be great because I'm hoping I'm going to be able to edit this and upload it with iMovie. I've only done 2 videos on iMovie, and that was over a week ago now, so I'm hoping I wouldn't have forgotten. Wouldn't have forgotten what I've got to do. So this is being super careful now. Super careful. Yeah, I've got some great ideas for Alien, and I don't know what I want to play first solo now, to be honest. I don't know if I want to play Alien or D&D. Or Castles and Crusades, because that just looks... logistically, it won't be Castles and Crusades, I don't think, because I've only just started reading the rules, and although it's simpler and all that good stuff, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it quickly enough or get the resources in time. I just don't know. Don't know that, so most likely it'll be either D&D or Alien. It should be D&D because I feel guilty about not doing it as is, so it'll probably be that. But there. Ba-dang. That's that. Okay. Right. What's next? You know, I think I'll do the stone wall grey so that I can have a look at what it looks like. Well, I'm gonna have a sip of tea first. Better than it. I've finished it. Right, Stonewall Grey. Let's have a look at what this bad boy looks like, shall we? So it looks to be slightly lighter in colour than the base currently is, which is kind of handy because I can put a watered down null oil on top of that, and then maybe a quick dry brush on top of that. Alright, what brush am I going to use for this then? Character brush, I think. Army Painter. Yeah. Yeah, that works quite well. There we are. Okay. Yeah, if I get close enough to the edge, I'm hoping the null oil will do the rest. Yeah, I think so. It's like that auto aim thing on the gun in Aliens. Just aim near enough the target and the auto correction will do the rest. Can't miss. Yeah, Alien Romulus was a good movie. I enjoyed that a lot. I mean, some of the Alien movies, like I think it was Prometheus, wasn't it? Got panned. I don't know. I think that's just people like trying to stay with the old days. You know, it's not going to be the same as the old stuff. It's going to have similar elements or points, movie references. It's not going to be the original, though. It's not going to be the classic. What you would expect from like the 1970s, whatever it was, Alien movie. It's just not. People should really learn to live with that. Times move on. There. Stonewall Grey. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, I really like that. That is good. I wonder what would happen if I mixed a little white into the King Blue. Just curious. So I'm still mixing it. Just holding it up. I don't think it's a big enough difference. I'm gonna try it. Going back to the blue, folks. Right, so layer brush. The blue is probably the most therapeutic. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter, but not heaps. Let's work on the ridges on the back. Yeah, I'm enjoying this blue. Ooh, oh my goodness. Enjoying this blue here. You know? Okay. Oh, this is glorious. Oh, we love this. This is cracking, folks. Tell you, cracking. It really is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is good. I mean, I don't even recall what colour carrion crawlers are supposed to be. I don't remember. Oh, we've got the grizzly run here this weekend. Because it's Saturday night. On the Saturday, the kids go first, and then on the Sunday, the adults go. It's like a endurance race course. I don't know if I've said this. I'm confused because this is my second take of doing this, and I can't remember what I've told you and what I haven't. Whether I've said it at the beginning, at the end to recap. Difficult, so I don't know. Anyways. Look at that. looking good. Apart from this bit of the base that was missed. Right, okay, now we're looking good. Carrion crawler, how's about that? Carrion crawler. Worked on nothing else this episode but this carrion crawler. Oh, yeah. Might do a tiny spot of white. Gonna use artificial brush again. Yes, I am. How are your projects coming along, guys? And what are you working on? Are you? I mean, do you do the same sort of projects? Do you stick with like? Forgive me. The microphone just unclipped. Yes. Do you stick with the same sort of projects? I.e., do you stick with like I don't know, like historicals or sci-fi or fantasy, that sort of thing, or do you chop and change? Are you still painting the same sort of thing you would have done 10 years ago? Have you evolved what you're working on? Just changed your mind? You know, you're allowed to do that, by the way. You know, whatever, right? My layer brush still not clean. Still not clean. Artificial layer. Okay. Just a couple of. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a paint called Ethereum Blue here. Actually, before I go on to that, I just want to put a couple of white spots on there. Yeah. Oh, I'm still watching that series called The Mentalist, by the way. Brilliant. I think I'm on episode 11 or something now. Liking the way it's going. Just thought I'd mention that. Right, well, I'm going to do something now which is kind of different. I'm going to take a dry paint, which is Ethereum Blue. Okay. I'm going to get a bit out, if I can. It might be harder than it looks. Put a chunk of it on my palette here, and then break it down. Might need some thinners for this. Because this paint is seriously dry. Might be too dry. Yeah, I feel like it might be too dry. Oh, that's a shame. Might be able to do a little glaze with it though. Might be able to do a little glaze with it. It is working, that's good. Gotta work quite quickly. Thin as well, so oh man. I haven't tried breaking down a dry paint for about 10 years. Yeah, well. Sorry for the silence. It's just like, whoa, I haven't done this in such a long time, dude. Going back in time, this. Do I make that my brightest highlight? I don't know. Probably should. A thinned down oil. What we could do with is a contrast medium. Ooh, contrast medium. Got that right here. Just zoom out slightly. Right, okay. I'm gonna go find a null oil. I think null oil would be best, as opposed to like a black ink or yeah. Or should I use a really thin down egg rags? No, I think I really thin down null oil. Yeah, I think so. So this. Oh. So I'm gonna need a fairly big brush for this. Crappy old brush. I'm gonna use this one. Right, I want a couple of dollops of contrast medium. Yes. Okay. And then I'm going to put a couple of dollops of null oil in. One. That's one. Okay. And two. Right, so I've got a very watered down version of vanilla oil. In contrast, medium. I'm going to paint around this base in it. Just see what happens. Yes, it's good practice for when I do it on my Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures as well. There. There'll be a few instances where I go over dry brush around the edging, but yeah, I'm quite liking that. Now, for the tongue. For the tongue, or for the behind the back of the mouth. I'm going to do Steel Legion Drab. Good old Steel Legion Drab from the pot. That's it. That's all I'm doing with that. I can't do any more on him. No, I think because I've reached the end of this dry paint here. Ethereum Blue is useless. I'm binning it. Yeah. But yeah, wait for that to dry. And do a bit of dry brush on it, and then we'll call him done, I think. Or do I push it a little lower, a little bit more? Just a tad. Go on then, Evil Sunz Scarlet. Evil Sunz Scarlet. Cruel to myself. Cruel to myself. Yeah, I'm going to do it. This is just pinprick dots on the claws, and that's all it's going to be. Wow. Okay. I'll fight to there again. Then we'll call it quits. Got to be very, very careful with this now. Here. Pinprick dots. make all the difference, you know, in a model. I know it can. It just catches the light and therefore catches your eye. Oops. Yeah. We're done. We're done. Pleased as punch with that, I am. Oh, we're over the hour too. I'm really happy with that, so I'm going to call him done. Now that's my Carrion crawler. I will matte varnish him when he's all dry. All I'll do is dry brush a little bit of the stone on his basing and then matte varnish him, and then that's it. So this is essentially done. Carrion crawler. I'm so happy to have been able to paint this up with you guys. So I'm going to cut back to me now. So, wow, what an adventure that was. A Carrion crawler. Just that. So pleased to be able to get that done. Yeah, I'm going to pop him in my little monsters box once he's done then. Ready for my RPGs. I may face a Carrion crawler at some point. I think I should, because it was my first ever sort of monster I fought in Dungeons and Dragons. But thanks for painting along with me. Do let me know what you're working on down below. If you've got any questions or anything else, I'll add them to my up and coming P&Q. And yeah, I hope your weeks go well. I hope mine goes well next week. Fingers crossed. And I'll see you guys on another video. Bye for now. Bye bye.